And so to kick off our brackets here, we're doing one round of, well, they already got a practice earlier, but now we've reset. They're doing a practice. This is a practice for this seeded group of sport class. And then they're going to put new batteries in, and it's bracket heat match number 1 waiting in the wings.
I've just been casually watching It's AJ FPV throughout this heat, and he has had some epic wrecks and equally recoveries. There's another one. He just had this huge midair in the triple stack gate when he was diving from top to bottom here in the practice round. Took someone down. It's been a rough practice round for It's AJ, but I became a fan during this round as well.
Yes, sir. It's a J going all the way. AJ FPV.
It's a J.
So here in our sport class division, there are 3-lap races. Again, it's 3 laps of practice, and most of our fields here on lap number 3. We're going to try and catch up here with Borg Slayer, but we saw in our earlier division, our hobbyist division, some people were saving it in practice and brought the heat in that first bracket race.
It's a good way to do it. I mean, you don't want to miss any laps in practice. You don't want to waste a practice round. You don't want to practice crashing in the practice round, is how somebody said it to me once. I agree with that.
Hot laps for Revision A, 30, a 24, and a 21. A Slowpoke, 13 seconds back, a 32, a 28, and a 28. It's AJ FPV. Finished 9.1 seconds back on him with a 32, a 30, and another 32. And then Borg Slayer 3 laps in this session, a 41 to 33, and that last one he brought a little bit of heat at a 30.
Revision A with a sub 22 second lap. I believe that's the fastest we've seen today anyway. You know, if you're just joining us, this is the beginning of Sport Class Double Elimination Bracket after an entire day of qualifying all 57 pilots into the 4 different double elimination bracket racing events we're going to be hosting here today on these 2 YouTube channels.
57 pilots competing in the 2024 weBLEED NorthEast Web Championship, and each and every one of them got 8 packs, 1 practice round, 7 qualifiers yesterday. As we roll into our brackets here this afternoon.
Remember when that was outstanding? Remember when you'd go to these big all-day 14-hour events and you'd get 4 packs, maybe less.
Yeah.
4 packs, you sit around 4 hours, fly 1 pack. Sit around 4 more hours, fly 1 pack. Nowadays, the standard. Thanks again to Whooptopia, just finishing another Whooptopia a few months ago. Now the standard is 1 pack of practice at least, 7 entire packs of qualifying to seed these pilots into the most accurate order, reflecting their skill levels going into the double elimination brackets. And that's what they've done yesterday. I'm a little late to the party, just joining today, so those results are all official and final as of late last night. Right, Joe?
That's right. We got some pilots rolling in from California, from Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, but this is the weBLEED NorthEast Web Championship, and here in our first heat, we're going to represent a bunch in the Northeast: Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Ontario, Canada, with Borg Slayer. And the number 4 spot here in this heat, the number 4 seed, making the trip from Maine, Slowpoke from Massachusetts. It's AJ FPV from Ontario, Canada, and Revision A from Rochester, New Hampshire. Top 2 advance in the winner's bracket, bottom 2 into the consolation bracket. We're about to go green. Good luck, pilots. It's getting real in our Sport Class Championship. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5.
Once again, some unique artifacts. Oh, it's not over there.
Yeah, we're green.
Oh, never mind.
Hey, Dougie, your live stream bottom right, it's got some weird lines in it.
Well, glancing at the race right now, it appears to be Revision A in first place, getting chased down right now by It's AJ FPV. Takes a dive, and I believe that's Slowpoke making the pass into second place. Traffic from It's AJ, he's back in action and chasing him down. That was a mid-air contact right there by It's AJ, and I believe Slowpoke, who took the worst end of it, moving on to his second lap. Revision A riding through a dark section on the course. We're going to have a repair in between these next 2 rounds.
Revision A down, but it's like a 3-way battle with It's AJ FPV, Slowpoke, Borg Slayer. Revision A back up onto that lead lap. They still have 1 to go as we are continuing to chase our leader here onto lap number 3. It's AJ FPV, the second highest seed in this heat. Canada leading the way.
But a huge wreck by It's AJ the moment you say it, and he has spent a fair amount of time on his lid. That's a double turtle, and he's looking up at someone's legs, getting back in the action, but let's see where he stacks up now.
That opened the door for Slowpoke and Borg Slayer. Those guys are buds. They're flying together, blade to blade, duck to duck. They took over the lead. Now it's AJ trying to catch up to him.
Slowpoke and Borg Slayer leading the pack. AJ now starting to approach on the back here on the final lap, but it's official for Slowpoke crossing into the crash gate.
Slowpoke with the win.
Revision A's in there as well. Let's bring across Borg Slayer. And there's It's AJ, tight racing in our first official race here in the sports class double elimination bracket at the 2024 weBLEED Northeast Whoop Championships. Bravo. These guys loved that race. I think the pilots had more fun in that race.
They're having some fun. You know it's going to get loud in the house when Slowpoke gets a win.
Oh, they had a little side bet going on there.
Action.
That always makes things more interesting. I'm feeling slightly inspired, Joe.
Yes, sir.
To have a little bit of a side bet here or there. Are you a gambler? Are you a gamer?
Well, I know when to hold them, know when to fold them. We're at
Then
match
it's
number
on.
2. Wizard of Gauze, Metadad, Bagzilla, Sharp Turns FPV. You are up with a practice warm-up, then your first bracket.
Please
which
bring
means-
3 batteries up to the podium, you guys. Bring at least 3 packs up. It really helps keep things moving between heats here.
That means they're going to be up on deck and then in the hole. Match number 3, Facedon, Hooked FPV, Denmark, and Shank and Whoop. We've already done some shuffling up as we took Slowpoke and Revision A up to match number 6. No channel changes. Borg Slayer and It's AJ FPV to match number 5. No channel changes there. And again, now we take a breath. We go into a practice pack.
Yeah, just
Before we get
remind me
real.
every few seconds. If I start to get excited, just please remind me. Glancing at the chat, we have Custom FPV joining us. If you guys don't know, Custom FPV yesterday just epically won the Underground Whoop League Regional Championships in Dayton, Ohio. I was lucky enough to be there. It was the results of 17 qualifying events leading into one event, and Custom FPV took it all quite epically. Congratulations to you, Noah. Unbelievable flights.
Another win. He was our 2023 International Open Whoop champion.
That's right. He's on a streak, not just in terms of pilot skill, but race organization and course designing as well. He's on a breakaway.
All right, this is a practice pack for group number 2. Pilots arm your quads, live on the tone, less than 5.
See a couple comments in the chat asking for a re-race on that last one. You can tell they also had side bets that didn't quite work out for them.
Rex says, lights being out just confused Borg Slayer. And the ironic thing is, the responsibility of the lights is Borg Slayer.
Yeah, I love that.
It'd be a little hard to make that argument. You'd have to go to our Supreme Court of Drone Racing. They would have to convene. They'd come back with an opinion probably in about 3 months.
Yeah,
But,
it's a long process. I'm a part of it, so I understand. I'm part of the prolonging process of the process.
Yes. Bagzilla, Wizard of Gauze, Sharps Turns FPV, Metadad, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tight grouping.
I am loving this traffic from on board with Bagzilla. He had traffic from Sharp Turns FPV, but now Metadad's right there with him here in this practice round.
It is a practice one. They're going to load another pack in. I'm getting weird reads on Wizard of Gauze.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm reading it real weird.
No, I'm on the computer.
What else would I be? Getting weird vibes.
Yeah. Final lap here. See, I have a misread from him. There's your boy, Bagzilla, with the unofficial win.
A practice win, of course. Sharp Turns with a little extra practice on the crash gate.
Metadad pulled up second, 6 seconds behind Bagzilla. Sharp Turn, 2.4 seconds behind him. Then we drop 8 seconds. Wizard of Gauze, the number 4 spot. They put another pack in. We hit reset, and they'll come back for real.
Beautiful camera feeds by all 4 pilots, and we had a comment in the chat about it, but I was thinking it myself. My goodness, it looks so good. I guess, how many HD pilots? 2 of them in this round? No, just 1. Wizard of Gauze representing HD0 gets a special shout out from KG Fairbarn in the chat. Good morning to Props Off. Hello everyone, Buckeye FPV Racing is starting round 1 now. Enjoy the breeze. Awesome. Well, you guys have a great time over there. It was great to see you yesterday, Scooter.
It's living the dream for you, though, right? Leaving Fort Collins, getting on a plane, flying
All
to
I
UWL.
want is the tiny whoop rock and roll lifestyle. I was able to pull it off this weekend. It's kind of my first time doing that since becoming a dad.
And back with a vengeance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I already got the championship medal.
I know. That's 3 planes over the course of 2 days.
4 planes.
4 planes. Connections.
But I know because every flight I've taken since the beginning of FPV, I steal the little safety card.
Oh, there you go.
Because I'm going to like make some sort of wall art one day or something.
You mean the big placard that's in the front of the seat in front of you where you're supposed to review
I got
those?
stacks on stacks of those. I'm going to wallpaper
Well, the
a
way that
house.
Boeing is going, it's a pretty good idea to have every safety card and be
they're
well.
fine. They're fine. They
All
always
right,
check.
pilots, this one's for real. Top 2 moving up in our winners bracket. Bottom 2 in our consolation bracket. First to 3 and the second to 3 going winners. Let's go green. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
Always interesting to check out the camera. Oh, contact between Metadad and I believe that was Bagzilla, and we've got a hole shot.
Calling it back. Whole shot all day long.
Did you guys see that view from on board with Metadad? If you didn't, you're going to want to scrub back in the YouTubes, pull it up on your second browser, because he didn't just have contact. His entire field of view was filled with what I believe was Bagzilla's quad. Who was in that with Metadad just now, gentlemen? Nobody knows. All right. Yeah, that was epic contact. My favorite contact of the event so far. So let's double check the rules because we just did a restart. Is it possible for restarts to happen more than once consecutively, Dougie Doug?
Dougie Doug doesn't know.
Dougie Doug don't know?
Paul Atkins knows. So now that we've called the whole shot, we can't call a whole shot.
No EDOC either, according to Dougie Doug.
What is that?
So, oh, he doesn't get up. No more reruns. No whole shot rule in effect for this race. Because we saw what just happened to Metadad.
Did you want to see it back again?
Yes, I do. Can we
Just
show
for
the
fun?
people? Oh,
Yeah.
they're already plugged in. Maybe we should wait. Look at Metadad.
Yeah, we're good over here.
Look at that. See that motor right in his view?
Oof.
It is Bagzilla. I nailed it.
All right, pilots, race is going to start here in a few seconds. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5.
Racing for realsies, I'm glancing at Metadad's screen, noticing a crooked camera. That always throws me off, but it seems like he's handling it like a champ.
Helps them get into those turns, those trippy spin turns.
Front of the pack right now is Wizard of Gauze leading Bagzilla in second place. Whole pack still real close together. First one through the dive gate, of course, Wizard of Gauze. There's Bagzilla trying to cross right behind him, but now on to lap number 2 with Wizard of Gauze, your current leader. 22.545. Watching the action unfold, Bagzilla trying hard to push to catch up. I'm looking at second and third right now. Appears to be Metadad and Sharp Turns. So currently third place held by Sharp Turns in front of Metadad, about to hit the dive gate for the second time as Wizard of Gauze in first place, already on his final lap, getting ready for his final dive. Ooh, has to make a second attempt, sets it down. It's a turtle for Wizard of Gauze, makes it in one try. Metadad, meanwhile, stuck underneath the announcer's booth right
look at
beside
this.
me.
1 and 2. Bagzilla making the pass by Wizard of Gauze. They're 1 and 2 to the gate here. Well, you want to be first or second. Wizard of Gauze goes down. Holy guy, Bagzilla getting the win.
Wait, no, Bagzilla didn't make it yet. He hit the tripod. They're both still out of the crash gate. There it is. Official for Bagzilla. Bravo. He must have been heart pounding for that final crash, not knowing where Wizard of Gauze is. If Wizard of Gauze could have gotten up just a little bit faster, could have taken the dub.
But that just gave second to Sharp Turns FPV.
Yeah, it did matter.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
the curse of the crash gate. We see it happen at every single event. The crash gate, right when you think the heat is locked, it's the run between the start finish and the crash gate that makes all the difference. Hashtag crash gate drama.
So we have some things to play back on the tape, and this is just for the fans of drone racing here today. We're going to have the whole shot in that previous race.
Let's pull it up here.
We're working on it. There we go. So
have a look at the upper right of your screen. Metadad is about to have a hardcore collision with Bagzilla on the lower left. Upper right and lower left, but you're going to see most of it on the upper right. There it was. So let's go back a few seconds in time and tick our way through those frames. Here we go. Now watch that upper right screen, because here comes Bagzilla.
Oh, my bad. User error.
It's all right.
User
I mean,
error.
we got a glimpse.
No,
and another
we'll
user.
do it for real.
And ticker forward. So look, Metadad can see lots of traffic on the field in front of him. 2 quads, but one of them's getting closer and closer. Look at by that right side duct. Somebody's about to hit him and curl right into his camera's field of view right now. This is it. So
There it is.
there's a whoop.
There's
pretty
the-
much filling. Look, they're staring into each other's eyes. And that's not what you want to see before the whole shot on an official race, the sport class double elimination bracket. That's what caused a re-race and sudden death in terms of launching. But it all worked out, round 2.
Yes, sir. Now, can we... Oh, boy. I was going to do the crazy end of that one, but looks like we're about ready to launch some practice. Oh, we're changing batteries. So you want to see that crazy finish?
Yeah, we just got the camera back. What up?
What up? Well, he's doing that while I'm queuing up this, because I'm all over the map here.
Good call, good call.
Yeah, it's
nice
been
one, Dougie Doug.
It's been a while since we've used the old DVR here. This is it here, right?
Right, so we've got this crash gate drama that happened at the end. And yeah, you can see top left, that was
Top left is Wizard of Gauze.
Wizard of Gauze in the HD0 quad.
Yeah.
He's headed for the crash gate. He's looking comfortable at the end of this race and headed for the crash gate. He's got some heat, but takes a dive, and 2 ended up slipping into the crash gate in front of him.
All right. That was a tough one. Let's see how the racing goes. This is a practice round coming up next. I need 20 seconds or less. Gonna have channel changes for Metadad and Bagzilla. I'll talk about them in just a moment. This is a practice pack for Group 3, Facet on Hooked FPV, Denmark, Shank and Whoop, Pilots Army Quads, live on the tone, less than 5. This is a practice one. You're in the first round. So Bagzilla, when you come back in match number 6, going to race band 2. And Metadad, when you come back in match number 5, a channel change for you, going to race band 6.
Denmark and Hooked, I don't think you guys noticed, but you guys just had contact tip to tip.
Just to see how it felt. Did it work?
I can't believe this is sport class flying. These guys are amazing. World class piloting already here in the early sport class practice round. There's another contact. Facedon alongside, I believe that must have been Denmark once again. Or was it hooked? A lot of contact here in the practice.
That's why it's practice. You're talking practice?
I'm talking practice. Hooked, fighting to get in that crash gate. Thank goodness it's practice. Still can't break the plane. Finally, Hooked brings it home into the crash gate. My goodness.
Yeah, Hooked
like
only got 2 laps.
He went in a lap early.
But I did get the 2. I adjusted the sensitivity. Yeah, he wanted to practice the crash gate during practice.
Practice the crash gate for sure.
Shank and Whoop, 3 laps, a minute 34. Denmark, 7 seconds behind him, 3 laps, a minute 42. Then you had Hook down on lap number 3. Practicing that crash gate. Looked like issues by Facedon. Yeah, revision A got in front of you. You didn't finish.
I did.
He finished before you.
According to what he just said and what Bobby Bag just said.
We'll have to review it.
Yeah, I got 2 on that one, I'm pretty sure.
That was a practice for this group.
It was the first real run.
The what?
The first real run. It should have been 1-2 carry me. He even said, he's like, I tried to pass you on this thing and then crashed.
Well, get ready for a reels race in the preliminary round here. Sport class, Facedon, Hooked FPV, Denmark, and Shank and Whoop going up for reels in just a moment. On deck, Ethan FPV, Mr. Rabble, Steady Eddie, and Hornycorn. You'll be up in just a moment, 2 minutes.
All right, pilots. Is this the practice one or for real?
Live round.
This is a live round? All right, pilots. Arm your quadcopters. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
A view of our pilots for launch there. Awesome to see that, actually. We got a side-by-side battle at the very beginning of this first lap. Hooked versus Facedon right now. Facedon getting out in front. And looks like he's in the number 1 spot, getting ready to set up for his first dive. He's got company. Hooked is still with him. And now Shank and Whoop in 3rd place, approaching the dive as well. As we bring across Facedon. Well, no, wait. Facedon and Hooked side by side, and I can't tell who got out first. Looks like Hooked did in front of Shank and Whoop and Facedon.
Perry, revision A, you.
So Hooked currently in the number 1 spot here in this official round, leading in front of Facedon. And yeah, Shank and Whoop is still right there with him. There's an error on the dive for Facedon, opening up the door. Here comes Shank and Whoop. Denmark already across. Hooked FPV leading in 1st place, drops a 24.8 second lap in front of his 25. Really nice consistency there. Shank and Whoop now across as well onto his final lap. Little bit of a messy dive for Hooked. Needs to keep it together in 1st place. Shank and Whoop in Denmark putting a little bit of pressure on him now.
And then you crash.
An error by Shank and Whoop on the dive. Hooks opens it up for Hooked on that wiggle waggle, getting ready to aim for that crash gate. There's an error. Who's going to get in first? It's Hooked. 1st place, 1st race. Congratulations, Hooked. Let's bring in 2nd place Shank and Whoop into the Tiny Whoop crash gate. Bravo. 1 and 2, Hooked and Shank and Whoop, as I see Denmark, I believe, went into the water, into the ice bucket.
No
Denmark,
way.
unplug that thing. Unplug it. It looks like it's going to survive. Yeah, blow that off, shake it off, hardcore air dry. We probably don't need the rice, but that was a dive into the drink for Denmark. Not what you want to happen in the early preliminary round of your double elimination bracket.
Do we want to see the tape back on
Let's
that?
watch it happen. Yeah, let's watch Denmark take a little dip. How did he find the only open water in this hotel
It's coming up, right? Splash.
We should turn that screen.
Yeah.
Been there for like 24 hours.
Here, let me get ready for the splash, okay? After we go from the launch
I moved it
to the dive, we're trying to get in this dive, and right here on the bottom left-hand side where the mouse is wiggling around, that's where the ice chest has been all event long for over 12 hours yesterday.
So he leans back, but he leans a little too far back. Wait, what happened? Okay,
this
now
is
he's trying to
before
reset the dive. Reset the dive.
He messed up the
He's
dive.
all over this dive gate now, in and out of the wrong sides and parts. He's completely lost, looking for the water. He's about to find it.
Here's the pool. Ready?
That's the. Uh-oh.
There's the
Oh no,
pool.
it's getting closer.
Put on a suit. It is time to get wet.
Time to drop off the kids at the pool.
Went through the dive box window, off of the black wall, and down
sploosh
we go
into the water.
Into the water.
Not what you want to see.
I think I saw a fish there for a second. Did you see the fish
Oh, no.
eye looking back at us?
He's like, I'm fine. Nothing's happening. I'm good. I'm gonna get out of this. I can
One-way
pull out of
whoop.
this. Throttle out. One-way whoop at the Northeast Whoop Championships. I saw video feed on the screen after that happened. I think his aircraft's gonna be okay. Shake it off and get back in it. Although you are knocked down to an elimination race.
That's right. Denmark is into the consolation bracket along with Fast Dawn. They're going to come back in match number 7. No channel changes, and we will take Hooked FPV and Shank and Whoop up, way up in our winner's bracket to match number 8. No channel changes, no channel changes. And let's do another warm-up practice.
Practice round for Ethan FPV, Mr. Rabble, Steady Eddie, and Hornycorn. And some might argue that it's unfair to move that water feature halfway through the event. I could see somebody arguing that it needs to stay in place. Don't change the game in the middle of the game.
Risk and reward. All right, pilots, this one's for practice. Arm your quads, live on the tone, lesson 5.
You know, I like that pilot's view. If it was me, you'd see my whole body convulse the moment I launch. It's a full body experience for a pilot like me. Is that how you are, Joe?
Yes, 100%. All in.
100%. I'm watching Ethan on the upper left, looking really smooth.
Mr. Rabble right with him, though. The upper right is almost stereo optic. Now they're separated by about 8.4. It's Mr. Rabble, Hornycorn, Steady Eddie. 3-way for second right now. Here in this practice. Remember, this one's practice.
Just keep telling that to yourself. But yeah, Ethan coming out of the first lap, a full 5 seconds ahead of the field. That's got to feel good. What was his seed?
Which guy?
Ethan.
Ethan FPV was the top qualifier of this group.
TQ.
Yes,
My
sir.
goodness. I could have guessed that.
Top of sport.
You just got to love smooth flight that is this speed. It just feels good. To me, this is the kind of flying that sells FPV. If you're new to this YouTube channel, whichever one you're watching on, upper left is your favorite channel. And it's also your winning channel. Ethan FPV dumps it into the crash gate before everyone else. That's the goal. Everybody else on the wiggle waggle. It's Rab versus Hornycorn. He takes a dive and action into the gate
Wow.
for Rabble versus Steady Eddie. Both go barreling in at the same time.
0.3 of a second on
For second, I mean, I kind of want to review it. It's an official race, and it is a race for second. Don't you want to see? Oh, wait.
Well,
no,
yeah.
that was practice.
It was practice.
Why can I not remember that?
Well, it's fine because
It's too
we're
exciting.
doing the back-to-back.
It's just too exciting.
Now, when I said 0.3 of a second, I was wrong because that's at the cube, the start-finish gate. And
Exactly.
so that was closer to 1/10 of a second at the crash gate, but
I
that
think
was
it
for
was
practice.
1/100th of a second.
It was tight. Between Rabble and Steady Eddie, right?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's a drone race, but how fast can I bring that finish up.
It's a DVR review race as the pilots set up over there on the block. We see him plugging in. We see him headed for the seats.
And I'm scrolling. He's scrolling.
Keep on scrolling on.
And
we want to see that photo finish. Maybe we'll review it.
DVR is messing with me just a hair. I got it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I went back. Now I've pulled it back far as we line things up.
Wow, you're good.
Side by side. Dougie, our boy in the truck sitting beside us, is right on it as well, bringing us our DVR in the real time. So 0.3 of a second here at the cube, and we're saying 100th of a second.
Okay, there's one, there's two. That's 0.3 of a second, but now they're going to get closer and closer, punting towards that crash gate.
Oh, look at that pass.
Oh, we can see who's.
Well,
Oh my God! Yeah, so you can see someone on the upper
Mr.
right.
Rabble.
You see Mr. Rabble about to cross the plane first.
Mr. Rabble
Yeah,
just
he
ahead
makes
of
it
Steady
in.
Eddie. Look at that. Both of them right in each other. You know what I'm going to do? These guys are ready to fly. And if they don't finish again, we're going to play that back again. That is one of the tightest things we've seen in our crash gate. But we're going green for real this time. Match number 4 with your TQ, Ethan FPV in sport. There's no Iron Man, but we'll be talking about it and bragging on him if he's able to sweep. Let's go green. Pilots arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
Man, you got to love that early lap number 1 traffic. Ethan's the first one through that big dive top to bottom on the TGS. He rounds the 180. Looking like a strong first place. I see Hornycorn getting close. Also, Mr. Rabble not far behind. There's a big error by Ethan. Sets him back. Who's going to take advantage of that? Hornycorn's right there, but not quite enough. Ethan gets across first. Alongside Hornycorn, both of them bring in 25-second laps. Hornycorn just half a second back.
Less than 3 seconds was separating our field, but issues for Steady Eddie. Even though he was back and forth, he was within 3.5 seconds of our leader on lap 1. We're almost done lap 2. Ethan FPV back up in our driver's seat with some company by way of Hornycorn and Mr. Rabble. There's Hornycorn, 3 seconds back off Ethan FPV. They're 1 and 2. Top 2 advance in the winner's bracket.
Now Ethan's starting to pull away. He's hitting that dive gate.
Mr. Rabble gets onto that lead lap, but he's now gapped a little bit. Ethan FPV to the checker, to the landing gate, the crash gate, and Ethan FPV, your TQ Ironman mode unofficially engaged as he wins his first match. How about Hornycorn pulling up second, though? That was your number 16 seed in sport. So
Wow.
He is now up a weight class. Third going to go to Mr. Rabble. Fourth going to go to Steady Eddie. He's finishing things up. As we hear otherwise from our officials, if there was anything that we need to look back on that one.
Well, bravo to you, Hornycorn. I know how hard Dave fights to keep it consistent under pressure. He definitely pulled it off. Dropping a deuce on the first preliminary round race. He's going to keep it alive in the winner's bracket. We'll see you in just a bit. Strong finish for Steady Eddie. The pilots all applaud, and it's time to reset because we're going back to the top. Wait, that was the end of the preliminary round. It's time to go to race number 5.
That's right. So we're going to take Mr. Rabble and Steady Eddie into the consolation bracket. They're back in match 7. This was 4, so a break of about 3. And Steady Eddie with the channel change going to race band 8. When you come back, Steady Eddie with Mr. Rabble in match number 7. Into our winner's bracket, we take our number 16 seed, Hornycorn, and our number 1 seed, Ethan FPV. To match number 8, a break of about 4. Channel change for Hornycorn, going to race band number 6. And you can follow along these heat sheets as they update dynamically, multigp.live/222. Just got to hit some buttons here. Just want to verify.
This is a consolation race?
Yes.
So, yeah, make sure that Homeboy's supposed to be in it.
Yep. There was a question on an earlier result. We did play back the tape during one of those races, and Revision A went to Borgslayer back in the pits and said, you know what, in our race in that preliminary round, round 1, You got me. I don't know why it has me second advance, but we played the tape back. Borgslayer was leading the whole race. Then he crashed out on the last lap. Remember, he was racing with Slowpoke there. Back
Yeah, I
and
remember
forth.
that.
So he crashed. By the time he got up, Revision A got in front of him. Revision A finished second.
Neither of them even knew it.
About 3.5 seconds ahead of Borgslayer. And so Borgslayer came over, looked over the shoulder. We played the tape back. And looks like we do have a second before we get to match number 5. Borgslayer, it's AJ, FPV, the Wizard of Gauze, Metadad. They're going to be up. On deck will be Slowpoke, Revision A, Bagzilla, and Sharp Turns. And in the hole, Denmark, Fastodon, Mr. Rabble, and Steady Eddie 3 away. You want to take a look at that crash gate finish from practice again? Let's see. I got her queued up here on the playback machine, the Wayback playback machine. Can we DVR? There we go.
What are we pulling up?
Well,
Oh, is
we
this
just
that
wanted,
photo finish?
Yeah, we didn't really get to truly enjoy that finish. This was the practice, right?
Yep.
So Mr. Rabble, first one through. Mr. Rabble and Hornycorn, right? Was it Hornycorn? No, who was race band 2 that last heat? Mr. Rabble. Mr. Rabble is on the right. No. Mr. Rabble is on the left, and Steady Eddie is on the right.
So Mr. Rabble is the quad visible in the screen on the right. That blur in front of the crash gate, that's piloted by Mr. Rabble as we approach the gate. And right now, he's punching hard, trying to squeeze in front in the practice round.
And look at that.
So close. That's a close race. Oh, I love that. That's what I'm here for, Joe. Thanks for bringing that up.
Hey, glad to hit some buttons. Glad to have you. 4 planes. 3 days. Jesse P is in the house of the 2024 weBLEED Northeast Whoop Championship.
Have a look at the chat. We got some hardcore commercial celebrities happening. That's my man Mike from GemFan Hobby saying, what's up? Great to hang out with you yesterday. Thanks for the ride to the airport. Fractal Engineering, that's my pal Eves joining us from the other side of the world. Thanks for stopping by the live stream, Eves. Hope you've been good. Telling us who's who on the chat. I didn't even notice it. Good morning to you, Eves. Yeah, it's been a few photo finishes like that. We've had to review a couple of interesting crash. It's been crash gate drama this morning, and it's not over. We're going to see more of it. People get through the start finish, and they just want to make some major errors before that crash gate. What's going on?
I'm on it. Make sure I got it right. AJ on 6, Metadad on 2. I swapped 6 and 2. That's AJ and Metadad. Is that correct? Okay. You know me, I didn't make sure I had it in my head. You got it.
Little channel change action behind the scenes. Northern Tier FPV says, yo, Jesse.
What up, NT?
All right. First time we're going to cut our field in sport from 16 down to 14. You want to be first or second to stay alive. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
Wow, we've got contact Wizard of Gauze, and it's AJ FPV after the hole shot, I believe, and they're trying to get back in it, but lots of room to make up right now. I'm glancing ahead.
Yeah, Wizard of Gauze had a great practice round, and his heat, he was well out in front, a 7-second lead in his first bracket race. Had some bad luck, but now can run for redemption, but he has got to find the rest of the field in front of him.
It's AJ in the first place position. Metadad and Borgslayer racing it out for second currently as we've got errors across the board. It's AJ's back in it. Wizard of Gauze grinding under the table right in front of Joe and I trying to fight his way out. It's an elimination race. You got to get out of there. Never give up, Wizard of Gauze. Fight till you're dead.
Now, we're not allowed to assist, but I'm just going to stretch my legs a little bit here.
Don't do it.
I'm
Don't
just-
you
oh,
dare.
no.
Don't do that.
Guys, I just got a twitch in my leg is all I got.
I'm tickling him, you guys. He's kicking his legs because I'm so tickly. Where's the race at, Joe?
No idea.
Come on, man.
You distracted me with those tickles. I really
Sorry,
enjoyed
we
that.
had a little tickle fight there, guys. It's part of drone racing, but so is drone racing.
Well, Borg Slayer and its AJFPV flying smooth on the gas, going fast.
It's AJ. Got his 3 laps.
Hasn't hit the crash gate,
Hasn't
though.
hit the crash. There he is. Made it in. It's official. It's AJ. First place, keeping it alive, and we
Now
need
look-
one more to make it official. Appears to be Borg Slayer. Let's bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, Borg Slayer keeps it alive. I feel a redemption arc coming.
And Wizard of Oz just going to finish up strong here on lap number 3. At least it's not a walk of shame. He's still going to the crash gate to get his quad when it's all said and done. Not the worst there. So 3rd in the heat. That is going to put him in the number 15 spot overall, give or take.
Bravo.
Metadad finishing top 16 in sport, as we will take its AJFPV and Borg Slayer onwards and upwards in our consolation bracket. Oof, lost a prop.
Oh, that stinks. Metadad, you lost a prop in that one? That is harsh. I'm sorry.
It's AJFPV and Borg Slayer.
Nobody wants to go out that way.
Match number 9.
Race 6, looks like we're back in the winner's bracket. Is that right, Joe?
Yes, sir. We're going to go back to the winner's bracket. Slowpoke, Revision A, Bagzilla, Sharp Turns, FPV. They will battle. Top 2 in this go to the semifinal of the winner's bracket. And it's a winner's bracket, which means they can be 3rd or 4th, but they can only do that once, or they too will be eliminated here in our sport class division, the 2024 weBLEED Northeast Whoop Championship. Thank you to our friends at weBLEED FPV hosting this event once again here in Fayetteville, New York. New venue for us. Excited to be here at the Craftsman Inn and Suites. Great
Oh,
spot.
man. They put so much into this event. My hat is off to this team. Bravo, gentlemen. What an incredible event. Happy to be here with y'all. All right. Pilots appear to be ready. Slowpoke, Revision A, Bagzilla, Sharp Turns here in the winner's bracket race. First winner's bracket race, number 6.
All right, pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone, lesson 5. Off to the races, a fantastic start for all 4 as we're chasing Revision A, Bagzilla 1 and 2, Slowpoke, Sharp Turns, FPV 3rd and 4th, but anyone's game right now as we're seeing a little bit of a shuffle up.
Revision A1, Bagzilla number 2 as they hit that dive gate. Bagzilla's through, trying to catch up to Revision A, rounding out lap number 1. There's his wiggle waggle, and he brings in a 23-second first lap. Almost contact for Bagzilla. Have a look at his screen right now. Riding right alongside, who is that? Slowpoke.
Slowpoke in by Bagzilla there on the opening lap, up into the number 2 spot, and it's a battle for that number 2 spot transfer position into the semifinal of winner's bracket.
Slowpoke trying so hard to catch Bagzilla on that dive gate. Both of them make it through clean. They're all a fair distance behind Revision A, but it's a race for second right now. Bagzilla versus Slowpoke. Slowpoke can see him trying so hard to catch him, 1 gate behind, 1 turn behind.
4 feet apart.
My goodness.
On the final lap, all 4 pilots are on lap number 4.
Ooh.
Bagzilla goes down. Slowpoke up to the number 2 spot. As we're getting set to wave a checkered flag for Revision A in our crash gate. He gets the W in the win. And Revision A to our semifinal of the winner's brackets.
And let's bring around Slowpoke. Man, you know, Slowpoke versus Bagzilla was an awesome race. And Bagzilla was closer and closer. We've got another race off right now. Bagzilla versus Sharp Turns, and it's a replay for Bagzilla. A wreck in the clutch. Oh my gosh. Bagzilla 2 times lost places right there at the last half of the final lap. The nerves, man. And, you know, I got to say, a little bit of bad luck, too. When he didn't just go down. It was a long tumble. Those pilots loved it. Again, we're not sending anybody home this race, but we are sending 2 down to the consolation bracket. We'll meet up with them, I believe, is that race 9?
9, yes. Sharp Turns FPV and Bagzilla to match number 9. Channel change for Sharp Turns FPV going to race band 1. Sharp Turns race band 1 when you're back with Bagzilla at match 9. And into the semifinal of the winner's bracket, Revision A Slowpoke. No channel changes. You're back in match 11. That's a break of about 6.
Man, it was really Bagzilla chasing Revision A that round until those epic errors in the last lap, and that's how it can happen. I mean, neck and neck racing. It's side by side until it isn't. Bagzilla with that first error trying to chase down. I don't remember who that even was now. Anyway, error after error sent him all the way back from a contention for first place all the way down to 4th place. Slowpoke and Sharp Turns getting in front of Bagzilla there at the end of lap number 3 in the winner's bracket race. So now it's time to bounce back down to the consolation bracket. Who are we bringing in, Joe?
That's right, match 7. Denmark, Fast It On, Mr. Rabble, Steady Eddie. You're up on deck. Back to the winner's bracket with match 8. Hooked FPV, Shank and Whoop. Ethan FPV and Horny Corn. And then in the hole, 3 away. Consolation bracket match 9. It's AJ FPV, Borg Slayer, Sharp Turns FPV, and Bagzilla. 3 away in match 9. Getting sent to grid up. Consolation bracket match number 7. It's New York versus Vermont. Mr. Rabble, Steady Eddie, and Denmark from the Empire State versus Fastodon representing Vermont, making the trip down from Charlotte, Vermont. Pilots are ready. Let's go green. Top 2 advance. Bottom 2 finishing inside that top 14 or so. Let's go green. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5. It looked like a shaky start for Denmark, but everyone here underway. Now Denmark doing a little battery bounce. He went from the back of the pack to the front, then the floor to almost the ceiling. Playing some catch up, but he's only 2 gates behind. Don't count him out as we're chasing Fastodon right now, along with Mr. Rabble.
Steady Eddie and Mr. Rabble, both of just 1 feature behind Fastodon. Made it to that dive gate first. He's got pressure from both of them. Now Steady Eddie slipping back just a touch as Denmark hits that dive gate in 4th place with a reset. Fastodon cruising all the way through that triple stack gate on lap number 2 right now, looking strong as he gets ready to set up for his second dive. He's got company from Mr. Rabble riding in 2nd place. Here comes Fastodon's dive number 2. Here comes Rabble's dive number 2, trying so hard to catch him. 2 to 3 gates back right now behind your leader, Fastodon. And Steady Eddie starting to slip back just a touch in 3rd place. Has got to push to catch up. This is an elimination round. Elimination potential for both Denmark and Steady Eddie. It's time to pull out all the stops and take a risky flight to catch Rabble and Fastodon, 2 and 1 respectively. Let's bring Fastodon on his final attempt on the dive gate. Looks nice and clean. Now into that beta FPV wiggle waggle. This could be great news for Fastodon as he sprints towards that crash gate, makes it in cleanly.
Hey, Paul. Fastodon reading low.
Having a look at Rabble versus Steady Eddie. Rabble is down in the 3rd lap, and Steady Eddie squeaks in front of Rabble after a last-second error in the final lap. Oh, man, that is so sad. You hate to see it. It's that darn crash gate, Joe. What is going on with that? Look, he's still fighting the crash gate. Is he going to knock all the way back to 4 here in his final race? Get across the plane. He's done it. But just so. Look, Denmark just that close behind Mr. Rabble after a big clumsy stumble at the crash gate. Nice flying, guys. That was a fun race.
Well, as we get through that stage of the consolation bracket, that is going to put Wizard of Oz 13th overall in sport, Mr. Rabble 14th overall in sport, Metadad 15th overall in sport, and Denmark 16th overall in sport. That's in the order of elimination. 3rd in that round, the 2 brackets. 4th in that round, the 2 brackets. The tiebreaker being how they qualified. It's confusing, but I guess...
I think it's straightforward. Everybody in the chat gets it, right, chat? Speaking of the chat, hello, Dr. Ride. What's up, Huff19? Kill Zebra is joining us as well. Lots of friends in the chat helping us share out all of this epic FPV racing footage with the community. Hey, guys, hit like on whatever channel you're watching on right now. to help us get this video out to all our friends who are fans of drone racing around the world. That's the secret to do it.
So we take Fasted On, Steady Eddie to match number 10, a break of about 3. No channel changes. We are at heat number 8. Match number 8, winner's bracket. Top 2 going to the semifinal, the winner's bracket versus Revision A and Slowpoke. You got your number 1 seed in sport, your number 16 seed in sport, Ethan FPV and Hornycorn, along with Hooked FPV and Shank and Whoop, midfield.
This is going to be good. Shout out to Claire Canizaro in the chat. What's up? She told me to say hi to you, Doug. I forgot to say it yesterday. Got to watch Screecher in the finals of the UWL champs last night. When I was in between planes, I got to watch the finals. It was a beautiful thing. But let's get back to this one, Joe.
Yes, sir. Semifinal, the winner's bracket is what's on the line at this point. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Lesson 5.
Ethan with the hole shot, now trying to pull away, but the traffic is still hardcore on him. Hooked is there, Shankin's there, Hornycorn slipping back a little bit, but he'll push back up. We know Hornycorn. Ethan approaches the dive gate, lap number 1. Cleanly through, and now he's already at that beta FPV wiggle waggle, the end of lap number 1 for Ethan FPV. Looking strong, brings in a sub 21 second lap.
He was the spotter for the hobbyist champion earlier today. Spent a little extra time under goggle.
And now it's the other way around, right? Or at least it was a moment ago.
We're assisting somehow. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. Shank and Whoop running the number 2 spot, 9 seconds behind our leader, 5 seconds ahead of third. Hornycorn needs to find 5 seconds, and Shank and Whoop to advance to that semifinal, the winner's bracket. Of course, we do have that consolation bracket opportunity for 3rd and 4th. So we put Shank and Whoop on that final lap with Ethan FPV. This one is all Mr. Kling.
Here he comes. Ethan's about to punch it into the crash gate. That's official.
Ironman mode remains engaged unofficially. Ethan FPV
Bragging
winning
rights.
all of his races so far.
Well, to the wiggle waggle with Shank and Whoop. About to crossover for his. There it is. Gets into the dive gate there. And crash gate for Shank and Whoop brings him 2nd place.
Fractional Engineer says, whoa, dead battery corn? I think that's
Yeah,
what
I was
happened.
wondering what happened with Hornycorn there, too. Can we get broken prop? Oh, no. Should we throw some prop company under the bus? Who is it?
Nope.
Don't tell us. Don't tell us. I love them all. I'm too close with them. I don't want to know. It's probably some no-name brand, right? He's nodding his head.
Yeah. No, these props are made overseas. They're different. Not American built, American engineered. Let's go to the semifinal, the winner's bracket with Ethan FPV and Shank and Whoop. Match 11 is where we're going to take them. And a channel change for Ethan FPV going to race band 2. No channel changes for Hornycorn and Hooked FPV, just a prop change or 2. They're back at match number 10. That means they're on deck, a break of 1. No channel changes for those 2. That is match number 8 in the books. And into our consolation bracket we go again.
If Ethan keeps this sweep going, takes home a gold medal, I'll be the only one on stage without a sun and a gold medal.
Well, there is time for George.
George
There is time.
FPV.
Come on, George.
Yeah.
Is that going to be his
9
pilot
months old.
handle, George FPV?
I mean, everybody calls him Georgie right now. Maybe you should give him his official FPV name. He can look back at this moment. You know, I picture my son watching all these live streams, seeing his dad younger, you know what I mean, in the future.
Josephina.
Josephina. Before my son had a name, I told Joe that I thought I was having a girl and I was going to name it after Joe, Josephina.
And that's my daughter's name. So I'm like, well, why don't we keep with that theme? And Josephina, that's a great name. In
That's
fact,
George's new FPV name. Sorry, George.
here it is, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to each and every one of you. We're proudly wearing the green. I still have 2 Christmas cards up at home right beside my fridge where I go every single morning, obviously. I got the Thomas family. I got Chris and all of his kids and your family. I got Jesse
What an
P.
honor. What
I
an
got,
honor. All those little Georgie faces.
yeah, I got Georgie, but you signed it. Jessafina. So I got the
good.
Thomas family, the Perkins family. Every morning, I say good morning, guys.
Give him a little kiss every morning.
My fam at home.
Awesome. I'm honored. Pilots sliding their goggles down now. Jace taking one last ceremonial swig before he pulls the goggles down.
That was a big baller move with the Christmas card. I like it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Every year, I am like, I got to take their return addresses so I can do Christmas cards.
You know,
There's still time.
I've never done Christmas cards till I had a baby.
There we are. Well,
What am I showing off? Like my drones?
well,
You know, it's like. But yes. I wish. I'll go back in time. Looks like we're in a slide holding pattern. You'll get one. I'll send you one. I got some extras.
we have a rule in our house, only artwork on the fridge. That's it. So Josephina's paintings and drawings, it's the only thing on display on the fridge. That's how highly I think of myself. Of course I'm going to name my daughter after myself.
That is beautiful. Wonder if I could get away with that.
Well, I didn't name my son after me. Joe Jr. was just a little weird.
Everybody in my family was like, where'd you get the name George? Is that a family name? No, we just both really loved the name George.
George of the Jungle,
Georgie Porgy.
Curious George,
Jorgito?
George W., George, the other George W.
We don't have to get political about my baby.
What do you mean political?
We don't have to bring politics into a conversation about my baby child. George Jefferson, great one.
George H. George H. Bush. A lot of Georges. I mean, you don't like to get into the politics, but a name like George, there's been 3 Georges that have been the
Aren't
big
you
dog.
Canadian?
I know my history a little bit.
Any Canadian Georges you want to talk about instead?
George Stropolopoulos?
Famous Canadian poet.
I think so.
What's going on, pilots?
Running out of Georges here.
We're running out of Georges over here. I think, Joe, we should really have a mic over there. We need to pipe that audio in because that's where all the smack talking's been happening, right over there by the launch. Anybody read lips? UB Borgslayer.
Well, you know, as we're broadcasting live on the Multi-GP YouTube channel, you know the Thomas family's watching, hanging out on a Sunday. So we say hello to our CEO and founder, Multi-GP, Mr. Chris Thomas, along with Stacy, Wyatt, Rachel, Savannah. You know how I have those names memorized? Not only because Chris Thomas is my best friend. I've known him 8 years, spent a lot of time. Every morning, I look at the entire family, recite the names, so I can say hi in the live stream as they watch every single live stream. They're #1 fans.
Wow.
Not only fans, or family and friends, they're also our biggest fans. We're excited to
Amazing.
be in their living room here from the 2024 weBLEED Northeast Whoop Championship, along with Jesse, Caitlin, and Jessafina every morning.
Give
It's
him
my
a little
Alzheimer's
kiss.
test. I'm like, do I remember all the names? I do. I'm still good. Still sane.
Still Jessafina.
Yep. Let's go green. This is a consolation bracket race. Top 12 is where you're going to finish. Or top 4. If you get a couple wins, let's go green. Pilots Arm Your Quads, live on the tone, lesson 5.
Looks like a clean start for our pilots. And I'm looking ahead at the track.
Sharp Turns and Borgslayer trading places a couple of times. Borgslayer now, I believe, ahead of Sharp Turns. By good
Bunch
chunk.
of confusion on
But
the course right now.
Throw Bagzilla in there. It's AJ on a different line.
Borg in the 1 spot, Sharp Turns in the 2, and they're back and forth right now at the front of the pack. Bagzilla trying to get into it a little bit late to that dive gate. Sharp Turns versus Borgslayer at the front right now. They're still side by side. That could have been contact. Borgslayer looking like strong #1 spot.
Well, Bagzilla gets on to that lead lap as well. Sharp Turns has an issue. That may move Bagzilla up in the number 2 spot, but that just gave some breathing room to Borgslayer. But when I say that, it's not much. As he's looking at some lap traffic, 2 gates get behind him. Now he goes over to that dive gate. Bagzilla making a big pass there. This is a battle for the front, but it's AJ FPV getting through that section. There's Sharp Turns
more
FPV.
carnage.
Now your leader goes down, Bagzilla. One more lap to go. On to lap 3, we take your new leader by way of Bagzilla. Issues for its AJ FPV, who's getting across next in the number 2 spot. Here comes Borgslayer. One more lap to go. Sharp Turns. This is a mess.
This is a mess. Right now, we've got Bagzilla riding up in the front. He's already at the Wiggle Waggle final lap, about to lock this race down. Who's his company? Looks to be Borgslayer. No, Borgslayer slipped all the way back to the 4 spot behind Sharp Turns. It's AJ.
It's
Is he a lap
AJ's
back?
2 gates
No, he's
up.
on it. He's on it right now, but it's still traffic to the finish. There's Sharp Turns.
It's AJ missed the crash gate. Missed the crash gate. And so results are unofficial. They're not
We've
as
got
on
to
the
see
screen.
this back. That race was a blast, but that race was a mess. Man, you guys flip-flopping all over the place. We need to bring that back up. We're going to have a look. Yeah, so results unofficial. Nobody knows what just happened. We're going to have a look at the last section of this heat for an official DVR review. DVR review underway. What's up?
All right.
It's a race to the crash gate, lap number
So
4.
The one thing we know is Bagzilla is going to win. Then 9 seconds later, chaos ensues. Here comes Bagzilla.
Final dive gate for Bagzilla.
Yep.
There's his horseshoe. And now the Beta FPV Wiggle Waggle, upper right of your screen, Bagzilla about to cross over into the crash gate, flying solo at the front.
1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000.
Look at the traffic right here.
Okay, so right now, Sharp Turns. It's AJ.
Hold up.
Oh, it's AJ.
Nothing's happening here. Hold on.
Oh, you're frozen on a camera, Dougie? Are you frozen on a camera or are you frozen on an output? Oh.
Interesting.
Okay, so here comes, it's AJ FPV. Yeah, he was second. Remember I said he missed the crash gate, right? So you still have Sharp Turns and Borgslayer. They're at the same section. It looks like
So
AJ
AJ
Turns
right
is
here.
ahead, but AJ is about to go to the crash gate and miss it, okay? Bottom left-hand side. Misses the crash gate.
Flies over the top. Oh, no. Now the panic sets in. Your heart starts pounding. It's the crash gate curse.
Now
and he knows he's got traffic.
Sharp Turns is pulling ahead. He's about 8 feet ahead of Borgslayer as we're trying to get back up in the air with its AJ.
He's got me.
Here comes Sharp Turns. Sharp Turns getting by. Let's
Wait.
not forget it's AJ in the bottom left. It's AJ
Can
has
see
Sharp
him.
Turns
Can
in
see
his
him right
FPV
there.
feed. And that is how that's the finish.
And
look at
AJ
that.
gets in. Borgslayer brings in 4th officially.
Now, with the slow motion, you just cannot appreciate the bit of chaos on that finish. Real time. We're going to go Bagzilla. Then watch this. The
Borgslayer.
crash with it's AJ FPV coming up here. He misses it. Now he's scrambling to get back, and Sharp Turns has it on lock. And then you go.
Wow, that
with
was so tight.
It's AJ and then Borgslayer.
It's AJ's recovery wasn't slow. He was on it hard. He was fighting really fast to get into that gate, but didn't make it in time. That's
So-
my kind of finish.
Bagzilla first, Sharp Turns second. They move on to match number 12. No channel changes.
That means it's AJ just got knocked out of this event with the crash gate curse a millisecond after an epically fast recovery. He flew over the top of that gate, instantly recovered, went straight back into it, and it wasn't fast enough. I'm a fan. That was awesome. That's how I would want to go out. If I was It's AJ, I mean, sure, on the one hand, hurts to miss the crash gate, but on the other hand, you couldn't have recovered faster.
But, I mean, at least you got the footy. At least you got the footy.
You got that footy.
All right, pilots, we're going green. Consolation bracket race. We saw what just happened in the last. Let's not repeat it here in this one. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Lesson 5.
It's like the anxiety just keeps building past the start gate all the way to the crash gate so painfully. And it has to mount. There's contact for hooked FPV flying alongside Hornycorn. They're touching tips over there on the triple stack gate. Who's going to make it to the dive first?
Looked like Fastodon tried to pull ahead there. He just got ahead.
Hooked number 1, second place, Steady Eddie. And Hornycorn slipping back just a little bit. No, Fastodon up into the 1 spot, and he just got past. There's Hooked moving into the first place in front of Fastodon, lap number 2. Finally, Steady Eddie's bringing across, and we're going to get Hornycorn in a minute. It's a battle for number 1, side by side, Hooked versus Fastodon. They share the same course feature for the 3rd feature in a row. Get ready for the dive. Oh, man, did you see that?
Fastodon had a straighter line and a faster line, but bit it. The Hook just kind of had a hiccup there, a hiccup.
They're still together.
They're still together.
Wiggle waggle, first one across. Hooked FPV 1 second ahead of Fastodon.
One more lap to go.
This is final lap. I'm watching Hooked versus Fastodon. Now Hooked starting to pull away. He's about to hit that dive gate for the last time in first place. Hooked looking strong. Fastodon pushing hard to catch up right now. But let's have a look back at the pack. They're gapping farther and farther ahead of Steady Eddie and Hornycorn. These guys need to push as hard as possible. But have a look at Hooked FPV. Brings it across. First place for Hooked. Second place for Fastodon. Here in this elimination race, no crash gate drama this time. Unfortunately for Hornycorn and Steady Eddie. There's a strong finish for Steady Eddie into the crash gate. Man, 1 and 2 had a fun race there. That's my kind of race for first.
Hey, Paul.
And there it is for Hornycorn into the crash gate.
Can you get Fastodon to look at his antenna? I missed last
Nice finish right there.
That was match number 10, buddy.
It's time for race number 11. This is my favorite race because this is the fast guys. Everybody in this race just won or got second place in their 2 previous heats.
I'll look in a sec. I'll look in a second.
I have channel changes for Fastodon and Hooked FPV. Fastodon to race band 6, Hooked FPV to race band 8. When you're back on deck, Fastodon to race band 6, Hooked FPV to race band 8. So we get set.
Oh man, a face punch attempt with a crown. Love it. Ooh, that's gotta be Hornycorn, my man. He missed, but it was the first official attempt. Let's hope that opens the floodgates, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So with that,
He loves the pusher.
With that section done, it's going to go 12th overall in sport for Borg Slayer, 13th for Hook FPV, Steady Eddie in the number 11 spot, and it's AJ FPV in the top 10. Well, AJ will be 9th, Steady Eddie will be 10th, Hooked will be 11th, Borg Slayer 12th. And the reason I did that, Borg Slayer wanted to know where he finished up. Borg Slayer 12th.
Not bad at all.
It's a W. It's a win. Lots of racing still to go here over the course of this sport class. But still to come today, we do have our pro and our elite divisions. So much more racing to go to.
Absolutely. History is going to be made during those heats as it is in this heat. Race number 11 is ready to go, Joe.
Let's get set to go green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5. Off to the races.
You want to swap the scene? Doug?
I can kind of see up there.
Well, whole shot here going to go to Revision A, then Ethan FPV, Slowpoke, Shank, and Whoop. This is a winner's bracket, semifinal, the winner's bracket. Top 2 going to our final 4, bottom 2 with a chance to get back into the final 4. and issues for Revision A, and no issues for Ethan FPV. Your TQ still with unofficial Ironman mode engaged. Segment number 1, leading the field by 5. Then you got Shank and Whoop onto lap number 2. Slowpoke 3 seconds back behind him onto lap number 2. 2 to go. And Revision A back up. Don't count him out. You can go back to the pack from the front. But we're chasing Ethan FPV, who's got this one on lock.
He's in his final lap now, and he's held first since that hole shot that he barely missed. He's moved into first place and rides it all the way here. A little bit of pressure from Shankenwhoop now on his final lap as well.
Shankenwhoop running second. He is 1.5 seconds ahead of Slowpoke in third. So Slowpoke finding a second and a half, and Shankenwhoop to advance as a lock into our final 4.
They're side by side right now. There's a pass by Slowpoke. One of the fast guys moves into that horseshoe. They touch tips. They're both down, both turtles. Slowpoke needs a double turtle. Shanken's up in 1. He's back in action. Slowpoke still on the ground as Shankenwhoop now flying away with it. Everybody yelling at him to get up, but there's the wiggle wagger for Shankenwhoop making a sprint for the crash gate right now. Bravo, and oh my goodness, Slowpoke, one of the fast guys on his lid. He's going to keep fighting that turtle until the battery's dead. Up, down, left, right. Don't give up, Slowpoke. Don't you dare give up.
Do we need to review that, or does that look right?
Well, let me tell you guys a story. First place going to Ethan FPV. Revision A sneaked in front of Shankenwhoop right there. I'm sorry I didn't comment on it because that was a little epic pass. Congratulations. 3.6 seconds between Shankenwhoop in third place, Revision A in second place. Here in the semifinals of the winners bracket, that means we're going to meet Revision A and Ethan in 3 races in the finals of the sport class double elimination bracket. But who's going to meet them? 6 pilots remain. We'll bring 2 of them to the finals to meet up with our 2 heroes in just 3 races. But right now, time for race number 12. From here on out, ladies and gentlemen, every race is going to be an elimination race. There's no more winners bracket races. It's a fight to stay alive every single heat from here to the end of sport class finals.
Right you are, Jesse P. We're now down to your final 8. No channel changes for Shankenwhoop and Slowpoke. They're on deck in match number 13. And no channel changes for Revision A and your unofficial Ironman TQ Ethan FPV. Match number 14. No channel changes. 3 matches to go. But lots of racing to go here in our sport class as we got Chase the Ace waiting in the wings.
If you're alive and at this stage in the sport class finals, you're feeling pretty good. A pretty good chance at getting to the podium, making it to the top 4. You got a 1 in 3 if you're not there already. Well, important races coming up. Like I say, race number 12 is going to be an elimination race. Bagzilla, Sharp Turns FPV, Facedon, and Hooked. As we're in a slight holding pattern, our pilot's starting to plug in over there. I see some friendly banter happening over by the launch stand. A shout out to our chat, whether you're joining us on the official Multi-GP YouTube channel or the official weBLEED FPV YouTube channel. Maybe you're a guy that's nice enough to have both browsers open, clicking like and commenting on both. We love that. That's the best way to get the word out to all of our fans of FPV drone racing around the entire YouTubeosphere. Help me beat the algorithm and hit like. We want to stack those likes and tell YouTube to send it out to the front page feeds of all the other YouTube FPV fans around the world. Don't let them miss the NorthEast Whoop Championships, ladies and gentlemen. Help us share the link and get the love out there for this amazing event. It's probably a good time to talk about our sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Newbie Drone, Emax, and of course Beta FPV coming through as diamond level sponsors on the highest level. You see their logos plastered around the room here epically. It's a gorgeous room. But here is a glance at the pilot seats as they start to get set for race number 12. Pilots are sliding their goggles down and preparing for what could be their final race. 2 of these pilots move on to the semifinals of the entire bracket as we are in just a slight holding pattern right now. Stand by for just a moment, pilots. Stand by for just a moment. So sorry. Hey, Joe. All right, pilots, slide your goggles down, arm your quads, as we go live in less than 5. There's your launch. Race number 12 is an elimination race. Like I said before, first place right now appears to be Bagzilla. He's the first one through there, but of course, as I say his name, takes an epic dive. I'm looking ahead at Hooked FPV riding in first place. He's going to be the first one to approach the dive gate as Bagzilla is still fighting so hard. A double turtle makes it upright, but he's got some ground to catch up. First place, Hooked FPV. Second place, Facedon. Sharp Turns now making an approach on second place, Facedon. Right now, Hooked FPV pulled it across a sub 25 second half for his opener, but he's already getting ready to approach that dive gate for the second time. Let's bring across Hooked on the dive gate. Now leading in front of Facedon, second place. A little bit of traffic for him. Is Sharp Turns there with him? He is, but of course a little bobble sets him back. Hooked FPV now onto his final lap. A 24 following a 24.5. Nice consistency, and he's got clean air at the front of the pack and looking stronger and stronger. Second time through that triple stack gate for Hooked FPV as he sets up for the final dive here in this elimination race. He's feeling good now. It's his lap to lose. One more wiggle waggle and Hooked will make it official. Who has he got with him? Is it Facedon? It is Facedon. Let's bring it in. Facedon into the crash gate 1 and 2. Hooked FPV and Facedon respectively. As Sharp Turns with the double turtle once again. Maybe that was even a triple. He's in the pilot's area and trying to find out where he was. Setting up for that dive gate. Third place officially for Bagzilla. Already in the crash gate as well. And if I'm not mistaken, that'll put him in 5th overall. Need to double check that. Oh no, 7th overall. 8th going to Sharp Turns FPV. Hooked and Facedon moving on to immediately race number 13, the semifinals of this entire bracket here in the sport class double elimination bracket finals at the Northeast Whoop Championships. 2 more races, ladies and gentlemen. 1 more leading up to the finals. Chase the ace finish.
Well, we do have a back-to-back here for Hooked FPV and Facedon. I got channel changes for both. Hooked FPV to race band 1, Facedon to race band 2. Facedon race band 2, Hooked FPV race band 1. And you are up now when you are ready after new light bows and channel changes versus Shank and Whoop and Slowpoke here in the semifinal, the consolation bracket, where the top 2 advance to our final 4 versus Ethan FPV and Revision A in our sport class, the 2024 weBLEED Northeast Whoop Championship. That's a very good question. Race band 1. Yep.
Everybody's already over there, already ready. They just raced and they want more.
Well, it's been the whole event, back-to-back light bows, and here we're seeing it. A chance to go from match number 12, where we just ran, to 13 to 14. Coming in hot. One more light bow, then one more pack on the track over those that advance into our final 4. Might give them a slight advantage. We've seen some people come out of the consolation bracket and win the event.
All those recent packs, all that recent heat warming up their thumbs. Some people call it an advantage. I definitely prefer the redemption arc. I'm always rooting for the guys in the consolation bracket to claw their way to the finals and take the dub. It happens. We're going to see it happen at one of these events today.
You think George is going to be like a buff dude? So if we start calling him Jessifina when he's a teenager, he's going to like throw punches?
Like if we're his bully?
Yeah, I think we need to come up with a better. I think we got to drop the Jessifina once he's out of diapers. Then.
Well, he's not out of diapers,
But
so
Jesse
we're good.
F, like you're Jesse P, that's your handle in all whoop races. He could be Jesse F. Like my son is just J. He doesn't have a J in his name.
What does that mean, Joe?
I have no idea. We'll have to find out. Maybe a little.
You could do an interview.
Champion
Father-son
interview.
interview. I'll give him my seat.
Yeah.
That would actually be awesome. I'm going to try to make that happen. Right, chat? You love it?
They love it. We're going green. Semi-final, the consolation bracket. 3rd and 4th, or 5th and 6th overall. Top 2 racing back-to-back in our final 4 for a chance at podium in sport class. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone. in less than 5.
Beautiful launch. Looks like a clean start, although there's an error almost immediately after for Facedon. I think he was riding in the one spot before he went down. Looking really strong for Hooked right now. I believe he's going to be the first one to hit that dive gate, and he is. He had a little bit of pressure also from Shankenwhoop, but a series of errors. Now Facedon down, Slowpoke down. Meanwhile, Hooked flying cleanly and smoothly. The only one without considerable errors here in this semifinals race.
Yes,
Facedon now through the dive gate as well. Meanwhile, Hooked onto his second lap, a sub 24, 23 and change. Meanwhile, looks like about 9 seconds back. Shankenwhoop in second place right now.
Facedon trying to catch up, but he is all over the grand ballroom here at the Craftsman Inn and Suites.
There's several attempts for that dive for Hooked, but he made it happen. Got pressure on his second lap now from Slowpoke and Shanken. Trying hard to push to catch up. This is a race to get into finals.
On the final lap with your leader, Hooked FPV, Shankenwhoop. Slowpoke, Facedon just trying to get it going on.
Hooked with his final dive. Now Shankenwhoop pushing closer to Hooked in first place with his final dive. Facedon moves on to his final lap.
Let's go to the crash gate for Hooked. 3 laps, a minute 29. You'll take that, and he is in our final 4.
So is Shankenwhoop. Brings across a strong second into the crash gate.
And now the big finish here. Slowpoke versus
It is a big
Facedon.
look at this.
And it's a race to the crash gate.
Oh,
Slowpoke just
what?
ahead of Facedon.
That was really close.
Yeah.
Facedon punched it hard at the end there. I didn't think it was going to be close, but Facedon definitely pushed it in. Nice flying, pilots. Just like that, we're set up for the finals of sport class. I can barely believe it. Let's move into a Chase the Ace style format finals.
1 channel change to worry about. Hooked. Another one for you. Race band 6. Hooked. Race band 6.
Hooked, Shankenwhoop, Revision A, and your top qualifier with unofficial Ironman still engaged, Ethan FPV. Going into the finals, where we'll do another Chase the Ace style format, meaning we'll race these pilots back to back until one pilot gets 2 first place finishes. And we don't do Ironman around here. We made it crystal clear.
That's right.
But we talk about it a little bit.
Because it's all about the 2s, right?
Yep.
Running 2 qualifiers back to back. But when you get to the final, if we had an Ironman, it could potentially only be 1 race, but that would break our rule of 2s in the Whoop community. So no Ironman, regardless of how they got to this final 4, no matter how many wins they got. We're going to run this final 4 at least twice.
You're starting to sound critical.
Upwards of 5.
kidding.
No, I'm just explaining it. It's
Okay.
just understand
No
it.
matter how much they earned Ironman, it's the rule of 2s, everybody.
I was not influencing or opinionating or opining at all.
We hear you, Joe. Loud and clear.
No, I honestly, I'm fine
I know.
with
No,
it.
we literally do hear you. We know
Okay,
you're
good.
fine.
All right, I'm fine.
Hey, weBLEED FPV in the chat and in the room saying, please make sure to like, share, comment. Let's go. I'm on board with that. No matter what channel you're watching on, you might be watching on the official weBLEED FPV YouTube channel, on the official MultiGP YouTube channel. Show some love for FPV content on YouTube and help us get it out there to all our friends. This is epic racing happening, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you want the people that don't even know about drone racing to just catch one glimpse of the finals here at the NorthEast Whoop Championships?
They're
kind of-
hanging out. Our flight line, our spotters and pilots getting set.
You gotta love it.
On the right-hand side of your screen, you got our hobbyist champion, Just Jay, spotting for his spotter from his win, Ethan FPV, our
I think Ethan's
leader.
got double spotter action going on right now. Am I wrong?
Maybe.
Look at that shirt in the middle. That is such a nice shirt.
Tiny Whoop.
I always feel so.
Let's go green. Chase the Ace, round 1. Get the first ace. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone. Less than 5.
Wow, synchronous launch. I was expecting Ethan to get off the block first. That's his norm. We got a clean start and lots of traffic. Ethan now riding second place. There's the pass into first as he gets set up for a second pass through the TGS. Now rounding it out and making his way towards the dive gate cleanly. Oh no, he's down. Hooked makes the pass. Hook up into the one spot. Revision A now hitting that dive gate. Now passing in front of Ethan as well. This is a disaster. Revision A goes down. Hooked now moving farther and farther ahead, and we've got action from Shank and Whoop in second place now. Everything just flipped on its head.
That's right. Shank and Whoop 2.7 seconds back. Now, every finish point matters. It's for podium positions, maybe race-offs as well. And even if you pull up a second, third, or fourth here in this first round, a chance to win the event with 2 wins in the remaining rounds, but you got to help your destiny become a reality.
Oh, man. Hooked onto his final lap and Shanking onto his final lap. Revision A was right there. A huge series of awful crashes. Sets him way back. Drops from fighting for first all the way to the end. Meanwhile, Hooked on his final dive and hooking hard, trying to make it to that finish line. Here's his Beta FPV wiggle waggle to make it official.
Huge battle for second right now, though, as we get across the line with Hooked. Ethan FPV and Shank and Whoop going full send. Ethan FPV getting by Shank and Whoop. Ethan FPV pulling up second.
That's my kind of racing, and Shank and Whoop finally into the crash gate. He broke the plane, and it's official. We'll bring around Revision A in a minute, who once again was a major contender for first place just a few seconds ago. Hooked FPV into the crash gate, an ace in his pocket, going into heat number 2, and there's the tumble by Revision A. Lands right on top of Hooked and Ethan. My kind of racing, gentlemen. Bravo. That is Tiny Whoop racing. I love it. So 1 ace in the pocket of Hooked FPV as we get set up for heat number 2. And if Ethan has anything to say about it, we're going to be moving to a double ace, potentially a multi-ace finish here in the sport class finals. We all want to see it. And I started to tell you earlier, Joe, at Whooptopia Enthusiast class, we did have another round push it to 5 heats in the finals. The best part of that was the 4th guy to get an ace was Hatter FPV. He came back and took the entire thing. So he didn't get the first ace. He didn't get the second ace. He didn't get the third ace. At that point, we started to ask ourselves, is it possible? Could we make it to a 5th round? Hatter comes out of nowhere and goes back-to-back on heats 4 and 5. And it was one of my favorite races I've ever gotten to commentate. Because, you know, early on, we start to daydream, could it be a 4-way, 4 aces? It's only happened, I think, 3 other times, and you and I were there for 2 of them. You were at Multi-GP Champs when the only other time it happened that the 4th ace became the winner. Who was that? I can't remember the deets.
I can't remember, but that was sudden death.
Oh, man, that was incredible.
Insane.
The sudden death win after you're the 4th ace. That's the best. That's the whole point of Chase the Ace.
The whole idea of the bracket, the whole idea is Chase the Ace is to just have, you know, a little gimme, a mulligan, you know, take some of the bad luck out of drone racing. That's what the format affords. But when you go to sudden death, that goes all by the wayside. Now everyone's flown a ton. They're coming in hot as we get set to go green here on Chase the Ace, round number 2 of sport. Your first ace to chase is
this is going to be fun.
Hooked FPV. Let's go green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone, less than 5.
There's the launch. Let's bring them onto the full screen. I want to see these quads in action. Here we are. We got 1 ace in the pocket of Hooked FPV right now. As we get ready to fix that in just a moment. Looking at a little tiny screen alongside our audience. Wow, Ethan FPV is already to the dive. He must be riding in first. Now we're bringing Hooked FPV to the dive as well. Ethan now crossing over onto second lap.
Revision A's worked his way up to second. Shank Whoop and Hooked FPV are just behind him in a battle for third, fourth, but I mean, we're looking to go a 3rd round. Ethan FPV leading our field by 5 seconds. But you got Revision A, Hooked, and Shank and Whoop all clustered together within 3 seconds of each other. 1 lap down, 2 to go.
Meanwhile, Ethan with his second dive, now moving on to his final lap, but he made it look so clean and controlled. No wonder that he's in a position to get the second ace of this finals round. Meantime, I hear Hooked back behind the pilots here. Seems to be stuck under a piece of fabric of some kind. Ethan with his final dive already in the bag. He's got 1 more Beta FPV wiggle waggle to bring us our second ace in the sport class finals. Smooth, calm, and confident into the crash gate. Ethan FPV with an ace.
He rings the bell, and we get set for Chase the Ace, round number 3.
Revision A riding second place. He was right there with Shank and Whoop before that previous error, but right now, Oh no, a little bit of a little bit of a getting lost there for Revision A. Makes it into the crash gate just seconds before Shankenwhoop. Bravo, Revision A, bringing in second place points under the second ace, Ethan FPV. So now we're looking at Hooked FPV's got an ace, Ethan's got an ace. We want Revision A and Shankenwhoop to pull off their own aces and push us to that magical sudden death 5th round. Chances extremely low of that happening. But a guy can dream.
I don't know.
I mean, we know they got the skill to pull it off. If we ran enough races, we'd see all the aces we want.
Well, you got Shankenwhoop. He was 13th in qualifying here in this group. And he's got a pair of thirds. I mean, he's due for an ace to push this to extra rounds. Revision A was third in qualifying here in this group. He's doing all right. A 4th and a 2nd. So good chance for points. Right now, he's tied 3rd, 4th on points for a podium position. But in prime position for an ace, Hooked FPV has an ace, pulled up a 4th, but it's your best finishes. Get 2 aces. He's got one of them, pull up a 2nd, and he goes from 5th in qualifying to your champion. Could happen. And our top qualifier, Ethan FPV, finally got that ace that eluded him. Had we had Iron Man, it would have been disengaged when we pulled up a 2nd place finish in that first heat. And so 2 aces awarded, 1 to Hooked, 1 to Ethan FPV. If either of those 2 pilots win this 3rd matchup, we're done. Our champion is crowned. And then we'll have to do some math and maybe some more racing to figure out 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And right now, with Ethan FPV and Hooked FPV, your aces to chase. It's on Revision A and Shankenwhoop to pull up a win and push us to more extra innings. Our pilots are ready. Here we go. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5.
Beautiful, beautiful synchronous launch. First one with the hole shot, Ethan FPV, and he's got contact right after the hole shot on his lid. Not great news for your TQ and ace holder, Ethan FPV. Looking back at the pack, if I'm not mistaken, it's Hooked right now, headed for that dive gate first. He's about to get company from Ethan. Meanwhile, Revision riding 2nd place currently behind Hooked, who's already moving on to his 2nd lap in 1st place right now. Let's bring around Revision A, 2nd place. How did Ethan fall all the way back? That was such an epic early lap number 1 crash. And now Hooked hitting that dive gate for the 2nd time. Nice and controlled for Hooked as well. He's got an ace in his pocket. He's got to close out 1.5 laps. Let's make that 1 lap. Hooked now moved on to his final lap. Ace in his pocket into the 1 spot. There's Revision A trying to catch him also onto his final lap. Ethan with too much room to make up. It's getting harder and harder as Shankenwhoop now on his final lap. All eyes on Hooked hitting that dive gate for the last time. Ooh, it's tight, but it's through. Nice and clean. Hooked is on that Beta FPV wiggle waggle, getting ready to make it official. Ace number 2 going in the pocket of Hooked FPV, ladies and gentlemen. But it's a race for 2nd. Can Revision get in there? He does. He's in the crash gate. Revision pulling in 2nd place points for the 3rd round to chase the ace. Shankenwhoop making 3rd place official here in heat number 3. And there's Ethan FPV tips over the crash gate. And my goodness, after the early part of lap number 1, just could not catch up. He made it through the hole shot. If the hole shot gate had been a few feet farther, that would have been a complete re-race, and Ethan would no longer be looking at the potential 4th place points that he now faces. That was a fun race. We got a champion of the pro class, sport class.
Yes, sir. And after a quick tally of the points, no race-off in store. Results are
come
official.
on.
The award lights are up as we get ready for podium presentation here in just a moment. We're going to go to 4th overall in sport class. Our congratulations to the man from New York, Shankenwhoop, who was our lowest seed here in our Final 4, qualifying about 12th overall in the field. He goes up to 4th overall with 3 third-place finishes. Your 2nd runner-up, 3rd on our podium with a 4th and a pair of 2nds. The man from Rochester, New Hampshire. That's Revision A, your 2nd runner-up, 3rd on our podium. Your reserve champion from New Hampshire comes in as a TQ, gets an ace, a second, and a fourth. It'll be Ethan FPV. And of course, your champion, 2 aces is what it took. About third in qualifying. He finishes top of the box from Johnson City, New York. Your champ to receive awards here in just a few moments. Hooked FPV, your sport class champion.
Yeah, Donnie. I know that guy. Yeah. I have another mic. Okay. They're already handed out the. Yeah.
1, 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing sport class. Such a tight class. We got Dawn over here. Oh yeah, you're getting your entry fee back, bud. Hell yeah, dude.
I try and signal, but
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hooked. Let's go. Dude, I love that. All right, second place coming in hot. Ladies and gentlemen, our sports class finalists. Love all of you guys. Such a tight class, seriously. Anybody 1 through 16 in that class could have won, including you, Christopher.
dude, I guess. I got Ben.
What a sport class finals, ladies and gentlemen, on both YouTube channels watching. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back, what was that, around 3:30 with our pro class double elimination bracket finals. It's going to get hotter and hotter from here to the end of the event, so please come back. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. Thanks so much for joining us for the sport class finals. See you for the pro class finals in just a moment.
weBLEED! weBLEED FPV. Shop now. FPV whoop drones, whoop gates, and accessories. FPV swag. Join the adventure today. Only at weBLEEDFPV.com. weBLEED!